Well, I've set myself a bit of a challenge. I'm going out, so I'm staying in Scotland, and I'm just going out into the forest. No plan. Sorry, I can I can see a fallow deer up on the path ahead of me, which you won't be able to see on the GoPro because it's going to leg it before I get anywhere near. Just in the distance, don't know. It's just seen me. If you see that big pine fir tree in the distance, there's a fallow deer just below that tree. You might see it move in a second, but I'll keep filming, and I'll keep my voice down a bit. But as soon as it feels it's just turned, and there it goes, gliding off into the forest. So you probably couldn't see that on the GoPro, but it's a nice spot. It's the second time I've seen a fallow deer here in the last 2 days. So anyway, back to the plan. So I'm staying in a place in Scotland, and it's one of those places where you can literally walk out of the house and you're in the forest. So when I say back to the plan, I haven't got a plan. I've got my tripod and my camera, nothing else, no filters or anything. I'm just going to walk into the forest, follow a few trails, and see what I can see. It's quite an overcast day, but the sun is occasionally coming out, so that might help. It'd be nice if we get a few beams of sun in the forest, but I really don't know what I'm going to take. It's kind of really stripped down photography. No gadgets or gizmos, just me, the camera and the tripod, and the forest, and let's see what we can get. I do know that the heather's looking particularly good, so it might include some heather. So I'm just keeping an eye out for that deer, but it was just under this tree, but be long gone now. So sun's just coming out a little bit, so see how it goes. Let's get into the forest and see what happens. Well, I've walked for about 10 minutes into the forest. You can see there's some really nice paths. At the moment, I'll spin you round. The sun is just beaming through a little bit onto these trees. In fact, I'm going to take an image while I'm make sure I get that. So what I'm doing, I actually came from that direction, and I'm heading in that direction. But it's always important to turn around and kind of look where you've just been. And just happened to turn around, and I liked the kind of the sinewy nature of the path leading between these trees. It's a bonus that the light is shining on these trees. So I'll show you the composition, but I'm just taking a couple of images. I'll brighten that. So I've obviously got the path leading your eye round into the kind of middle of the frame. So it's all about that composition, about being on the path. I'm on F9. It's giving me, I've pre-focused on the trees in the middle, and I've got my kind of exposure rectangle kind of up on, because the sky in the background is the brightest part of the image. So just put my kind of rectangle up there to take an exposure to include the sky, and it's probably a bit dark that, but it's also a nice bit of light on those trees just picking out. So don't know whether it'll pick it out well enough, but I've taken a couple. That's my first couple of shots in the forest. If my lottery numbers ever come up, I'm coming to live here. I absolutely love the place, and if it was feasible, I'd live here full time. But look, it's just absolutely incredible place. I absolutely love it. And I think I said fallow deer earlier. I meant roe deer. Did I say fallow deer? Well, I'll know when I edit the film, but obviously it meant roe. You see roe deer all around. You get pine martens, red squirrels, all sorts of birds. So in fact, I'm gonna take a few more shots because the sun's doing quite nicely. But then I'll move on. I'm about 200 yards further down the track, and the sun is beaming over my head, obviously, and onto the pines, and I just think the effect is incredible. So I think I mentioned earlier that the the heather's looking lovely. So come down close, just absolutely beautiful. And when you are close, you can see the fine detail. It's just wonderful, but it also adds a nice, in kind of combination of all those plants, it adds a lovely kind of, I don't know, glow to the forest floor. So what I'm doing is obviously, I think quite a lot of the shots today are going to be portrait, because the trees lend themselves to portraits, but I'm trying to capture the heather in the foreground, and then that colour, just kind of late evening sun on those trees, which I think is wonderful. So I've got the heather for about a third, and then the trees and the sky, but I'm bracketing, because so I'm taking 3 images at different exposure levels, and I'll blend them together, because there's a big contrast between the heather and the brightness in the sky. I'm just going to look at that. Sorry, I had to put you down for a second. See, I don't think it would work. No, it doesn't. It doesn't really work. Maybe it does if I do that a little bit, but I don't think it does. I think it works better as a portrait. But I'll take it, and we'll see. We'll see. You can hear the 3 shots taken there, but I think the portrait is going to work better. But what I'm trying to do is get that kind of nice range of heather to tree. See if it works. I'm enjoying it though. I haven't seen another person. Lots of midges about, but can't even hear another person. So going to carry along the track, and going to maybe look towards the sun at sunset, but not like Trump looking at the sun at eclipse. I'll try and keep the sun out of your eyes, but I am shooting towards the sun, as I mentioned earlier. So the sun's probably got another 20 minutes before it's down across the mountains, and I don't know. I'll say it again probably. I absolutely love this place. But sun is coming through the trees. I've got 2 trees here in the foreground. It's shining just on this heather. Look at that. Look at it. Just absolutely stunning. And I won't be able to do it justice. I'm not a good enough photographer to do it justice. But I don't think I'm doing myself down, because I don't think anybody could do that justice. Kind of just to be here and to see that and to experience it. What I'm doing, so it's a simple composition. It's kind of portrait again. I'm just focusing through the trees. I'll try and show you. I'm not sure how much you can see. You've got the heather in the foreground, obviously the trees here, sun in the distance. But I'm on f22, and the reason I'm on f22 is not for depth of field or anything like that. It's just, mentioned it before in a previous video, when you shoot at f22, really small aperture, and sorry, I'll turn out the sun a little bit, really small aperture, and the blades of the aperture give the sun that kind of beam effect. So I'm hoping to grab that. But look. I hope this shows up for you on the GoPro, because it's just, look at the colour of the purples. It's just, it's not harsh purple. It's just I was going to say it's a heather purple. Of course it's heather, but it's just absolutely incredible. And I've just seen another composition that I quite like. So bear with me, because I'm going to be rude and kind of move you about, but I like that composition. Oh, I love that composition. I love that composition. I'll show you in a second when I've got it set up. So sorry, you've got to look at my mug for a while. But oh, I love that composition. Love that composition. Well, let's see how we go here. How's that doing? Drop that down a bit. Oh, yeah. So the composition is looking along the path. Look at that. Look at the light. Look at the light. Oh my God, look at the light. So here's the composition I'm loving. It's just the path again. It's kind of, it's a bit cliche, but I love it. Path leading round, center of the image, but trees on either side. So you see those trees on either side, beautiful frame. trees being lit by the late evening sun, heather being lit by the sun, sun's in the left hand corner. Jesus. I'm in heaven. This is my heaven. This is my heaven. The only thing that could make this better would be if Liverpool were beating Hoffenheim 2-0 at Anfield in the Champions League. Liverpool are beating Hoffenheim 3-0 in the Champions League. So, it's perfect. I'm going to alter that just slightly. If I take the sun out, no, don't alter it. Leave the sun in. It's looking good. It's looking good. Sorry, I'm rambling now because that is just special. Just special. Don't want to sound morose or anything, but when I die, I want my ashes scattered here. So I'm loving that. Let's go and see what else we can find. So the sun is well and truly down, and I'm on my way back to the house. Yeah, you might just be able to pick up, I don't know if you can see through the trees, just pick up the colour. Quite a nice sunset, but I wasn't at a high enough vantage. But I hope you enjoyed the trip. I don't do that on, I don't think I've done it before on film. I do it occasionally when I'm away, where I just head out with my camera and nothing else and see what happens, and I hope those images turned out. But it's not really about the images, it's about enjoying myself, and it's a bit of a busman's holiday, I suppose. You know, going just doing it for the pure enjoyment rather than kind of stressing out about the end product. I think the end product might be pretty decent, but I'll always remember that light coming through the trees. I hope I didn't get too excited for you. Conscious I haven't said where I am. So I'm in the forest in the Cairngorms, a place called Nethy Bridge, which I absolutely love. If anyone wants to buy me a house up here, drop me an email. So hope you've enjoyed the tips and the tricks. I promised I'm going to take the family out on a nighttime safari now, so heading back. Now it's starting to go dark. Head back and get the torches out. So thanks for watching, and as always, look forward to reading your comments and answering them, and see you in the next one. Cheers, bye.